In the quiet hours of a typical Friday morning, while the port of Cork hummed with its usual activity, a significant operation unfolded. Guardian revenue officers discovered a whopping 546 kilograms of a synthetic drug, likely crystal meth, hidden inside machinery in a shipping container. With an estimated value of a staggering 32.8 million euros, it's the biggest ever seizure of the addictive drug in Ireland. Following the discovery, various searches by Gardaí were ensued, spanning across Cork, Kerry, and Waterford City. During the operation, authorities seized 2 firearms and apprehended 2 individuals, Nathan McDonnell, the CEO of Ballyseed Garden Centre in Kerry, and James Lean. McDonnell's arrest has sent shockwaves through Kerry, where he was widely recognised as a diligent businessman. Nevertheless, CCTV footage reportedly captures him loading the machine into the container for transportation. The authorities assert that McDonnell received and stored the machine in Ballyseed, and that he was promised €150,000 for the storage. As Gardaí do not suspect that the highly addictive drug was intended for the Irish market, indications point to the ownership of a massive haul by a Mexican cartel, with the Republic of Ireland serving merely as a transit point. The trail leads back to Mexico, likely originating from cartel-operated laboratories, before making its way to Ireland. Authorities suspect that the ultimate destination for the greater part of these drugs was Australia. The massive seizure has brought the operations of one of Mexico's most notorious drug cartels into focus within Ireland, with allegations surfacing of an Irishman holding a senior position within the organisation. Gardaí and members of the DOCB have further identified several Irish suspects in the vicinity of Cork, who they believe have been collaborating with the Sinaloa Cartel. Formerly led by the infamous Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, this Mexican-based criminal syndicate is widely recognized as one of the most powerful cartels worldwide. The other man arrested in connection with the find, James Lean, is understood to be a key associate of a man called O'Shea Salazar, an Irishman accused of spearheading the Sinaloa Cartel's European operations. O'Shea, born to an Irish father and a Mexican mother, spent his early childhood in Mexico until tragedy struck with his father's fatal accident. Following his father's death, the family relocated to his father's hometown in County Kerry around 2005. O'Shea, then about 15 years old, subsequently settled into life in Ireland, living with his mother and sister in a rented council house. He attended Kilorglin Community College, establishing roots in the community for nearly a decade. In his late teens, O'Shea found himself entangled in various criminal charges, ranging from possession of a firearm to criminal damage and handling stolen property. At one point, his defense suggested before the court that O'Shea had a personality disorder. He later became known as the Mexican due to his links with drugs. You see, O'Shea's family ties raise eyebrows. His mother, Yolanda Salazar, shares a surname with El Chapo's first wife, showing the familial connections that facilitated O'Shea's entry into the Sinaloa Cartel's inner circle. The exact timeline of O'Shea's departure from Kilorglin Airport remains murky, likely around 2016. His next destination was Barcelona, where, according to Chilean authorities, he allegedly orchestrated drug trafficking operations into Europe on behalf of the Sinaloa Cartel. Coincidentally, this period saw the rise of El Chapo's sons, known as Los Chapitos, 2 of whom bear the same surname as O'Shea, stepping up in their father's absence after his extradition to the US. A period of uncertainty surrounding O'Shea's whereabouts follows, but we do know that he resided in a luxurious 5th-floor apartment in Barcelona in 2020 when EncroChat was hacked. By then, the DEA had already alerted authorities to O'Shea's presence in Barcelona, coinciding with simultaneous operations in Chile. Chilean authorities later outlined O'Shea's alleged involvement in the Sinaloa Cartel, detailing his role. Meanwhile, his mother, Yolanda Salazar Tariba, and her brother, Ricardo Salazar Tariba, faced sentencing for their involvement in a drug trafficking conspiracy unearthed in Chile during the COVID pandemic. It's believed that Yolanda Salazar was dispatched to Chile around 2019, having previously lived under the radar in Kilorglin. By then, O'Shea was overseeing an operation involving Bolivian cocaine routed through Chile to Europe. However, when the intended buyer fell ill, he sent his mother and uncle to Chile to take care of the operation. During court proceedings, Chilean prosecutors claimed they were instructed by O'Shea as they oversaw a scheme to procure a staggering 6,000 kilograms of cocaine from Bolivia. The plan involved stockpiling the drugs in Chile for export in 6 separate shipments, destined for the port of Antwerp in Belgium, before eventual transit to Spain by air. To put this into perspective, the magnitude of O'Shea's operation far surpasses even the monumental drug bust on the MV Matthew off the coast of Wexford in Ireland back in September 2023. At that time, authorities seized 2.25 tons of drugs. In contrast, O'Shea's scheme, involving his mother and uncle, aimed at shipping nearly 3 times as much, 6 tons of cocaine across the Atlantic. Despite a Spanish undercover agent managing to establish contact with O'Shea by phone in early 2021, a planned meeting between the two never materialized. The Irish-Mexican dual citizen, who went by the alias Mauricio, was unavailable in Spain on the scheduled date, and subsequent attempts to reach him proved futile as O'Shea ceased contact with the agent thereafter. His mother and uncle were then arrested in Chile in March 2021 as they were trying to leave the country. They were subsequently convicted and sentenced. O'Shea is currently wanted in Chile, where a formal extradition request has been initiated against him in connection with the 6,000 kilogram cocaine smuggling conspiracy. The value of the haul, originally secured for about 8.3 million euros to 9.2 million euros in Bolivia, skyrocketed to a staggering 420 million euros upon reaching the streets of Europe. Despite the extradition request, O'Shea remains at large, believed to be in hiding, possibly in Mexico. According to Chilean authorities, O'Shea is characterized as an active member of the Sinaloa Cartel and the leader of the cell controlled by his uncle and mother in Chile. They assert that he has operated from both Europe and Mexico, acting upon orders solely from the cartel's leadership, notably Los Chapitos. Although O'Shea is wanted in Chile, Irish authorities suspect that he has remained active within Ireland, orchestrating the recruitment and direction of agents or brokers. Gardaí have reason to believe that the Sinaloa Cartel has established connections within the Republic, particularly in Kerry, with O'Shea suspected of playing an active role in these operations. The Sinaloa and Jalisco New Generation (CJ&G) cartels have engaged in a fierce competition for over a decade to expand their international presence. This competition has fueled the trafficking of drugs into Europe, leading to the discovery of numerous large-scale drug shipments, including in Ireland. As the two dominant players in the drug trade, they are vying for control of new markets worldwide, intensifying their rivalry. The rise of the CJ&G has been particularly notable, as they were virtually non-existent before 2009 to 2010, but have since become the most geographically expansive Mexican cartel. This expansion has forced the Sinaloa Cartel to compete fiercely. The Sinaloa Cartel, in turn, is so powerful that its drug trafficking operations are believed to have directly contributed to the unprecedented fentanyl epidemic in the United States. The Sinaloa Cartel has the capability to temporarily halt a shipment in Ireland before resuming its journey. During this period, the shipment would appear as a completely new load embarking on a fresh journey to international law enforcement and customs officials. Cargo originating in Ireland rather than Mexico would be perceived as lower risk in such scenarios. In addition, individuals with dual citizenship, like O'Shea, are considered high-value assets to Mexican cartels because of their ability to move freely across Europe. Furthermore, establishing long-term residency in a European country enhances a cartel member's capacity to recruit agents or brokers locally. Currently, it has been estimated that there are over 26,000 members, associates, facilitators, and brokers affiliated with the Sinaloa Cartel spread across the globe. In Sinaloa itself, local residents often choose to work for the cartel due to the significantly higher wages offered compared to other available jobs. Many prefer this option rather than risking their lives by opposing the cartel. Entire regions are entrenched in a culture of drug production, where the cartel holds sway as both employer and law enforcer. Attempting to persuade these communities to abandon cocaine production is like trying to ban Guinness in Ireland. That was it for today's video. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see our next videos.